El Chapo is on trial right now. Last I checked, they haven't been able to find a single dollar of this drug money that, they claim that
he had the billions.
the billions. And his wife actually did an interview recently.
Yeah.
On Telemundo, I think, where she claimed that she had not seen anything illegal that he's done at all, and this whole thing is a fabrication to bring down, this great man that's been married to her.
He's done though.
You think he's done?
Oh yeah, you never forget it.
Sometimes wonder how just a regular working guy was able to get these tunnels. Remember when he was in the Mexican prison?
Yeah, $1 million tunnel.
$1 million tunnel.
Yeah, I don't see it either. But it don't matter anyway. His situation is so big that even if they violated his civil rights, they're gonna override him.
Yeah, he's never gonna see light again.
No, he never will.
Do you think that locking up El Chapo really does anything in terms of the drug operations between Mexico and the U.S. and so forth?
Absolutely not. Somebody was waiting for El Chapo to go to prison, to take his place, and maybe it might create 5 more. It might be 5 little guys who were, in the wings getting very little pieces, but now they're getting greater pieces, which will eventually bubble up to be, the next one.
I mean, when you were dealing, Colombia was pretty much supplying the world with cocaine.
Yep.
Right? With Pablo Escobar.
Yep, and the El Choas and the Medellin.
Yeah. But then at one point it moved into Mexico. It seems like Mexico kind of took over.
Yeah, we believe that Mexico took over after
Escobar
the
was
black
killed?
guys started robbing all the Colombians.
Really?
Yeah. We started hearing in prison that different people were getting robbed, and they eventually handed over, to a different sector of the community.
So that's how the Mexicans came in.
Yep.
And they were pretty much a little more ruthless, where they weren't getting robbed as much, or?
I don't know if more ruthless.
Colombians were pretty ruthless, especially Escobar.
Yeah. What they say Escobar was.
Escobar was killing politicians.
Well, when they're here in the U.S. though, they're kind of like out of their element somewhat. Especially when they start dealing with the gang members. From South Central LA. Kind of like right now, where the rappers say, rob you, connect, most people wasn't ready, they weren't ready for you to be robbing them. The same people they selling the drugs to would now become the robber, it kind of throws you off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually my introduction to the drug game. I did a deal with somebody and he robbed me. That was the end of my drug career. Because in fact, I just interviewed Bill Duke, who did Deep Cover. And I told him that movie inspired me to sell drugs. You directed one of my all-time favorite movies, Deep Cover.
Thank you. I
had no idea. All these years, I've been such a mega fan of that movie. I'll be honest, I've said this before. I actually got inspired, I mean, not in a good way, obviously, but I actually got inspired to actually mess around with drug dealing after watching that movie.
Wow.
Watching that movie, I had a friend that was involved in some street shit, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll be the white business guy, and he's the street guy, and I'm gonna do the deep cover thing, and he ripped me off right away, and I lost a bunch of money, and that was the end of my drug dealing career. But
well, I understand. It was the movie gave insight, but it was based on a book.
Yeah, I heard about that. And it was literally a one and done.
Yeah.
And I freely admit it. Like, what I'm saying? The guy came in, I put up the money, and he basically robbed me, and that was the end of that.
Yeah. Well, it definitely is ruthless, you know.
And in retrospect, I'm kind of glad that it happened.
Yeah.
Because had this not happened and I somehow got more deeply involved in it,
Probably would have went to prison.
yeah, I probably would have went to prison.
Yeah. No
I
doubt.
was able to just walk away with losing some money and
Yeah.
not
It's,
dealing.
it's worse when you do good.
Yeah, it's worse than when you do good.
When you do good, it's worse because then you get that mentality that this is the way it is and this is the way it's going to be.
And it was a very, and I remember when it happened, it was like, it was a very interesting kind of thought pattern that went in. It's like, well, I can't call the police. I have to somehow handle this through violence in order to somehow fix this. And I was not.
And that's the bad part about being
Yeah.
a drug dealer too,
Yeah.
is because the robbers know that.
Yeah.
They know you can't call the police, and that kind of puts you in a really vulnerable situation,
Puts everyone in a vulnerable situation.
It
Because
does.
if you are willing to do that violence, then now, yeah,
It takes your crime to a whole nother level.
it takes it to a whole different level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the violence is what kind of triggers the police, you get on the police radar. If everyone quietly sold drugs and no one got killed.
And that's usually how most successful drug dealers carry it, even though they like to portray a different scenario. What happened is that the Colombians had got used to doing business with a certain group of blacks, but then when those guys were gone, now they're looking for the next guy, and now they're dealing with guys who are really robbers and gangbangers, and it's a different.
They were just used to robbing people. That was their
Exactly.
Yeah, like Trey D. He said he did not have the patience to sit in a trap house all day. Why the robbery over the dope dealing? Because it seemed like the dope dealing is easier.
I didn't have patience. I didn't have patience. You
just
know what
wanted
I'm
it
saying?
quick.
And not only that, I'm not a sit still kind of person. It's hard for me to just not be mobile and involved in, interact. So just sitting up and I'm not a gamer or nothing like that. So, and sitting here, it was like, to me, sitting inside of a dope house, waiting on the police to come kick the door in, or waiting on somebody like me to come kick the door in and get it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, that's too much tension. You know what I mean? So I just didn't really take to that lifestyle.
Right, and for a lot of people,
Yeah.
I've known a whole bunch of guys that get out of prison and that becomes their mission. Well, I'll just rob drug dealers.
Yeah. Who are they going to go to?
Right.
Yeah, man. But El Chapo's done, huh?
Yeah, he's done. He'll never see the streets again.
Yeah.
Straight to ADX.
Yeah. And what's actually kind of funny about the whole situation is that he got caught because of an interview with Sean Penn.
I saw the whole thing. I watch the news now.
You know what I mean? Like,
What was the model that got him?
yeah.
He wanted the model.
Yeah. But he was basically, he agreed to do an interview while on the run from escaping from a maximum security prison.
How crazy is that?
He could have potentially
Still be free.
still be free right now. Get some plastic surgery. He had more than enough money to do whatever he wanted. He could be chilling
He probably
right now.
was a kid from Mexico who had never been nowhere and just found a pipeline, and started filling the pipe up,
Yep. Yeah, I
And
mean, look
next
how long.
thing you know, he's making millions. But just because you make millions don't mean that you know anything. Money don't make you smart.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Donald Trump.